right, folks. Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Sports YouTube channel. I'm your host, Steve Rotstein, here with Aliquippa's star senior, Qa'lil Goode, multi-sport star, WPIAL champion in two different sports now for the third time. Qa'lil Goode, how does it feel, man, to be here?
It felt great, man. It's an honor.
Thanks for joining us, man. Thanks, man. Obviously, coming off a huge game yesterday, so I'm sure still basking in the glow of that one, and probably just got done celebrating. But appreciate you coming on the show and joining us today. So, coming off a 30-point game against South Allegheny, 65-54 win in the WPIAL Class 3A Championship, a rematch of last year's final, where South Allegheny came out on top last time. So you two knew each other well and had to feel good to come all the way back around and get your lick back this time, right?
Yes, sir. I've been waiting for this one the whole year. I ain't gonna lie. They spanked us last year. They got us good.
Yeah, I mean, it came down to the wire last time, of course, a little bit lower scoring game. And this time around, they had the leading scorer in the WPIL with Drew Cook. So coming in, he obviously had a huge game as well with 28 points, but you actually outscored him with 30 of your own. So, did you kind of knew you had to take it upon yourselves to especially raise your game and make sure you came out on top?
Yeah, I knew I had to score. I know I had to cancel out Drew Cook, but I just had to get my teammates more involved so they could score more than their teammates. Our role players do better than their role players. We'll be good.
Definitely. And I think it was a tie game at the half, wasn't it? So does that just say something about, Aliquippa, similar to that South Park game where I was at in the semifinals, where you really came out and just blew them out in that second half, that this is really a second half team?
Yes, sir. We just got to keep our foot on the gas and stop letting up so much. That's really it.
Yeah. And so, you're not done here, of course, but first off, what does it mean to, break that tie with Newcastle? Aliquippa, I think, known first and foremost as a football powerhouse, the best around in the WPIL, if not one of the best in the country, with 20 WPIL titles, but now 15 WPIL titles in basketball, breaking the tie for most all time with Newcastle. So standing alone in both sports to be a part of that, what does that mean to you?
That felt good to me. I'm just trying to create my legacy here. Trying to go down as one of the best to ever do it in Aliquippa.
I think you definitely are doing that. I mean, reading what Mike White wrote about the game, and he's been around for a long time, and so I think he said it himself that in all the championship games, that goes down as one of the greatest performances ever by a Quip, up there with some of the greatest that have ever done it. So 30 points, 8 rebounds, definitely cemented your legacy, I would say. And it goes back to some of the other performances you've had in championship games and other sports too, where you had the great touchdown catch to help beat McKeesport just a few months ago in the football championship game. And that reminds me of when you really had your breakout performance in the state championship game as a sophomore, man, going back to that one against Dallas, 60-14 beat down. You had 3 picks in that game, 185-yard pick, 6. I think I made you our player of the game in that one. So was that really your coming out party, do you think, thinking all the way back to your sophomore year in that football state championship game for the Quips?
Yeah, I was just out there showing everybody what I can do. I got looked down upon because I was undersized, but I was still a ball hawk, still a ball player.
Yeah, and of course you got to do that alongside your older brother, Cheez, Quentin Goode. He was the star quarterback of that team, helped lead the team to 3 straight WPIL titles, 2 state titles as well. So, getting to do it alongside him, I know this whole family has been, leaving its legacy with, you, Cheez, and your older brother, Darrien Fields. He's the offensive coordinator on the football team, and he's there alongside you as an assistant coach in basketball as well. So just what does this mean to you just to do this, with your older brothers by your side, and how much of an impact have they had on you this whole time?
They had a real impact. They had a real huge impact on me. Anytime I need something, I need to calm down, I can just always talk to him. It don't matter what it's about, So it really had a huge impact on me playing with him.
Yeah, and I'm sure you miss playing with Cheez too, right? And but
Yeah.
seeing him as the QB growing up, I don't know if you had quite the arm talent that he had, but you had to kind of put it to the test this year during football season, right? When Marcus Council
Yeah.
went down, I came out for the Montour game there in midseason, and things were kind of starting to fall apart. It looked like, but you tried to help keep it together when you switched from receiver to QB there. Almost, pulled off that win, and you were doing everything you could at quarterback, even though that's never been your main position. So what was that like for you when you had to switch things up in senior year and go under center and try to play quarterback to keep the season from falling apart?
It was difficult because I haven't played quarterback since I was about like 10, 11. I played it in little league. I haven't played it for a long while, so just switching my position back and forth, it was hard, but I just had to force myself to adapt to it.
Right. And then, I think a lot of people started to doubt you guys there towards the end of the year, but you find a way to, turn things around and qualify for the postseason. You find out Marcus is coming back. He gets in there at QB. You get to go back to your main spot at wide receiver, and the rest is history, right? So you make that run, knock off McKeesport, win the WPIL, and even though you didn't go all the way to the state championship like you hoped, it was obviously a great run. But now you flip that switch to basketball season, of course, and you're here again as WPIL champs, and cemented that legacy as Title Town, where I just saw this is now the 6th time in school history that Aliquippa has won titles in both sports, in football and basketball. That's only been done 15 times ever, in WPIL history. So no other school has ever done that more than once. But Aliquippa's done that 6 times. How crazy does that sound to you?
That's crazy, man. I didn't even know about that.
And so, yeah, I mean, you obviously played a huge, huge part in both of those. Would you have ever, imagined this when you were just a young kid growing up, watching your older brother, Darrien sling it on that football field, and then Cheez as well? Obviously, you were, playing alongside Cheez too, but they were kind of the big names, and you were just trying to make a name for yourself. But now you're the star player, and so do you feel like you've really, left your own mark here at this school forever too?
Yeah, growing up watching Darrien, I just knew once I saw him out there, I knew this was something I always wanted to do. It felt good to have my own name out there.
And of course, it's not just about the WPILs here at Aliquippa, right? It's always all about the ultimate goal of going all the way to Hershey and getting that state title, whether it's football or whether it's basketball. So, what does this team have to do from here now with the state playoffs beginning, just to flip that switch and try to go all the way to get another state crown?
We just gotta keep our energy. We gotta stay energetic. We just gotta keep the pressure up and keep our foot on people's necks.
No doubt. And before I let you go, I mean, I love the shade, so I got to grab something for you right here. I'll put these on. So
okay, you swag.
With the yeah. So is that some of the kids are still saying swag? Is that
Nah.
No, I didn't think so. What do the kids say now? What do they call them?
You got aura.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got the aura going. All right, cool. So I know you're gonna be going to Slippery Rock too to play football, right, alongside your boy Lester.
Yes,
So I mean, you're a great football player, right? But I mean, you've really been showing out on the hoop court this year. So I gotta ask, like, what's your best sport? Is it football or is it basketball?
My best sport, I think my best sport is football, but can't nobody stop me in basketball, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I think you're proving that. All right. Well, what's going to be, when it's all said and done, you got all these great memories, right? I mean, the state title in football as a sophomore, and now 3 WPIL titles in both sports. What's your favorite highlight of your career to this point? I mean, was it just what you did yesterday at the Pete with the 30 bomb to win the title, or if you had to pick one, what's your favorite memory?
It might have to be that state championship game. That was legendary performance. That's probably my favorite.
That was legendary. The undefeated season with your brother at QB. That's gonna be tough to top, right? But yeah, maybe if you go all the way in hoops as a senior, right?
Yeah, if I go all the way right now, this gonna be my favorite moment. If I go to state.
Well, I think you guys might have what it takes, don't you? But it's gonna be a lot of work ahead, though.
Facts, it's gonna be a battle.
All right. Well, best of luck the rest of the way, Qa'lil. I appreciate you joining us here on the Post-Gazette Sports YouTube channel, like I said. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first from the Post-Gazette Boys Athlete of the Week. It's Qa'lil Goode from Aliquippa. Thanks, Qa'lil.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.